see those voting numbers? We didn't put that piece of shit in office. You did it.
Where are you guys? Why are we alone? We support everything when it comes to you guys. We are always there for you. And this is why we Latinos are just different.
60% of black folks will never vote against their own community. And don't you see how one moment had you sitting here rubbing your hair talking about something we so different? No, you're not. And now you're just realizing you're not different. You're a nigga with a silk press.
Somehow we are always blamed for things, despite the fact that a lot of times it's not our fault. And this one definitely is not our fault.
We stood up for you in the voting booth, where it counted, where it mattered. 92% of black women voted against this situation. 80% of black men voted against this situation. And you got the nerve and the audacity when you go and look at the numbers for Latino men and women, how they voted. And I promise you, they didn't vote nowhere near the levels we voted. And now you have the nerve and the audacity to blame us. You got the nerve to be coming at black women in the community. You got the nerve. We told you there were multiple black creators that told you guys that it wasn't just illegals that were going to get deported who had criminal.
If you literally cannot have empathy for someone, I don't know what to tell you. You're an evil ass human being and you need help and you need God. You have no heart, and hell, there's a special place in hell for you. Karma is real and God will take care of them. This is so heartbreaking. I don't know what we could do to help. I feel so helpless. I just want to help with something. I just want this to end. I just want there to be peace like there was peace. I just want that. That's all I want for us.
Hi, welcome back and subscribe. Let's talk about the anger, the frustration, and the refusal among the black Americans to jump into a fight whenever another marginalized community finds itself under political pressure. And right now, the conversation is happening around the Latino communities facing immigration crackdowns under Trump administration. Before anyone gets angry and says black people are supposed to support immigrants, let's slow down. This isn't about the black Americans suddenly becoming anti-immigrants. And it's not about celebrating somebody being deported. It's about reciprocity. Because solidarity cannot be something you pull off the shelf only when you need it. You can't ignore another community's struggles for years, then suddenly reach for them when your own community is under attack. And that's where some black Americans are saying not this time. Because black Americans have been fighting for civil rights, voting rights, police accountability, economic justice, and equal treatment for generations. We all know that black activists marched, went to jail, and even lost their lives. When other communities needed support, many black Americans showed up. But now, there is a growing feeling that the relationship has not always been mutual. And politics has made that feeling even stronger. Look at the 2024 elections. Donald Trump openly campaigned on immigration restrictions and mass deportations. He didn't hide it. He talked about deporting millions of undocumented immigrants. He made immigration enforcement one of the central themes of his campaigns. And millions of Latino voters still supported him. Though many Latino Americans voted against Trump, many strongly opposed his immigration policies, but more than 50% voted for him. And many black Americans are now saying, if you helped put this administration in power, why should we automatically be expected to mobilize for you when the consequences arrive? That's the part people don't want to talk about because political choices have consequences. You cannot spend election season telling people that their concerns are not your concerns, then come back knocking on their door when your concerns suddenly become urgent. That's not solidarity. That's an emergency contact. And black Americans are saying, we are not your emergency buttons. And I understand why that sentiment exists, because black Americans have experienced this cycle before. When black people are protesting police violence, voting rights attacks, discrimination, or economic inequality, where is everybody? Where are the organizations? Where are the massive rallies? Where are the political alliances? And then the political winds change, and suddenly everybody wants Black Americans to unite behind them. And that's where resentment is building. This doesn't mean Black Americans should celebrate Latino families being targeted, because human being deserves compassion. But compassion does not mean surrendering your political boundaries. And solidarity does not mean unconditional loyalty. If you want Black Americans to stand with you, then ask yourself if you stood up for yourself. You can't have a political relationship where one community is expected to constantly sacrifice, while the other community only shows up when it needs something, because that's dependency. Latino communities need to build their own political power, organize, build community organization, support candidates who represent their interests, challenge bad policies, and hold their own politicians accountable. And don't forget, political accountability is still real. If you fought for a politician based on one issue while ignoring what that politician promised to do another group, you cannot be shocked when those policies eventually affect your own community too. Share your thoughts in the comment section and continue supporting the channel.